segment today on Bible readings and explanations, and we're going to do from the book of Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, chapter 7, verse 14. And it says, "Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel." All right, so again, that was the book of Isaiah, chapter 7, verse 14. And it says, "Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel." And so, verse 11 says, "Ask thee a sign of the Lord thy God. Ask it either in the depth or in the height above." So you can ask God for a sign of his presence if you're unsure what's going on. I know this: if you're in the middle of a fast, once you start the fast, anybody that comes against what you and God talked about in private, that person is being manipulated by the unclean ones. And so that's what verse 11 means to me. It's pretty much saying, like, you can ask God for a sign in heaven or a sign in earth, and he'll show you, just so you're not led astray. And the sign is that the virgin would conceive. That was the sign for all that believe in God, for the virgin to conceive a son and call his name Emmanuel. And we all know that Emmanuel means God with us. And so I think that's a really good thing to know, a good thing to understand, and a good thing to really stay in touch with God. You know what I mean? Ask him every once in a while. Ask him, you know, ask him for a little piece of a little sign just between you and him. You know what I mean? So, good morning. That's what that means to me. Again, that was the book of Isaiah, chapter 7, verse 14. Um, if you have any questions, please give me just write in the comments or whatever, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace be with you. All right, good morning. My name is Maurice Jackson. We're going to do another reading on, we're going to do another Bible reading and explanation. And this day, this time, we're going to do the book of Leviticus, chapter 15, verses 16 through 27. It's going to be a nice reading. And this explains different things and different situations that lead to households being unclean sometimes. You know what I mean? And so this is chapter 15, verse 16, and it says, "And if any man's seed is copulation, if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until the even. And every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation shall be washed with water, and be unclean until the even. The woman also with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water, and be unclean until the even. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever toucheth her shall be unclean until the even. And everything that she lieth upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean. And whosoever toucheth her bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And whosoever toucheth anything that she sat upon shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even. And if it be on her bed, or on anything whereon she sitteth, when he toucheth it, he shall be unclean until the even. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereon he lieth shall be unclean. And if a woman have an issue, and if a woman have an issue of her blood many days out of the time of her separation, or if it run beyond the time of her separation, all the days of the issue of her uncleanness, shall be as the days of her separation. She shall be unclean. Every bed whereon she lieth all the days of her issue shall be unto her as the bed of her separation, and whatsoever she sitteth upon shall be unclean, as the uncleanness of her separation. And whosoever touches those things shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the even." And so I think that's a very important subject to talk about. Um, it's about the cleanliness that we keep. Um, it's about the cleanliness that we keep, and that was specifically talking about seminal discharges and things like that. So for the male, seminal discharges, and for the woman, it would be her time of separation, which would be her period. And so it's pretty much saying that that's in the book of Leviticus. And so that's the priest book. That's the book of the priests. You're not supposed to be seen unclean going into the temple. You can't be unclean and go into the up into the tabernacle, which means you have to be aware of you and the things that are going on around you. You can't sit on the same chair that a woman sat on while she was on her period and still call yourself clean, because you're not. You can't sit on the same couch or lay in the same bed with your woman while she's on her period, because that makes you unclean. I'm not being mean towards women. I'm telling you what the law of the Lord says. You're not supposed to do that. Just like she's not supposed to touch you after you have a seminal discharge, because you're unclean. You have to clean your body, you have to clean your clothes and everything that the discharge has touched. And then you have to wait until even. So if this happens at noon, somehow, some way it happens at noon, um, you have to clean your clothes and then you have to wait until the sun goes down. Normally, I call the evening 7 p.m. So my days go from 7 p.m. to 7 p.m. So that's the beginning of my new day. If that was to happen to me, I would have to wash my clothes. I would have to get in the shower, wash my clothes, and then I would be unclean until 7 p.m. that evening, until the next day started. But it depending on when it is. Like if it's spring or summer, the sun might go down at a later time. So that means I would still have to wait until the sun goes all the way down. But on any regular day, I would call 7 p.m. my evening. And so it's not just all about women, it's about men too. You have to keep yourself clean. You can't just like do that and hop up in the same clothes and wear the same clothes, because that's unclean. You know what I mean? Just the same way as for the young lady in your house. You're not supposed to shoot. That's not okay. That's not okay. That's very unclean, actually, to wear the same clothes or wear the same clothes every month when that happens. That's very unclean. You know what I mean? You have to throw those things away. You have to dish. You have to clean those clothes. You have to put your whole body in water. So it's best to take a bath. Um, but I'm sure a shower would do just fine. But just it says bathe your whole body in water. So taking a bath would be nice. You know what I mean? I think that would be the right way to do it, actually. So that was the book of Leviticus, chapter 15, verses 16 through 27. If there's any questions or comments on that, please leave it in the comment section. And again, my name is Maurice. I'll talk to you soon. Peace be with you. All right, I'm here with another Bible reading and explanation. My name is Maurice Jackson, and we're going to do the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 21 through 25. And so this would be in the middle of the fourth day of God's creation. So that would be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So all of this happened on a Wednesday. And it says, verse 21 says, And God created great whales, and every living creature that moveth, which the water brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. And God said, Let the earth bring forth a living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And God made the beast of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. All right. And so that was the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verses 21 through 25. Uh, and I read that just to say, this is a beautiful day. So remember that God said it was good. Remember that God said it was good. Um, in my reading, I've learned that man was the one creature that God made, and he didn't say it was good afterwards. He didn't say you were evil, but he didn't say you were good. And so that is another point of God gave you a choice. You can climb one tree or you can climb another tree. You can eat from one tree or you can eat from another tree. And so you have that choice because God didn't put that title on you. So a name and a title, they do many things to your psyche. Adam named all of those angels. God brought all of those angels to Adam so that he could name them, which means he gave them their name. That means he gave them their title, which means he gave them their universal function. So the serpent, Adam named the serpent. He named him that. And it just so happened to come back. You know what I mean? And that was that was, you know, he named all of those angels, all of them. And so God gave Adam the name Adam. He was known as the man, and he was known as Adam. And those are his two titles. That's his name and that's his title. That is his universal function. I said a lot to say that God didn't necessarily say that we were good. We have the choice to be good. We have the choice to be evil as well. And so just make the choice to be good today because God called some things good. And the things that he called good are still here. Those whales and those birds and those trees and those, even the creeping things, those are still walking around here doing what God said for them to do. And we should be doing the same thing, you know. So have a blessed day and peace be with you. All right. My name is Maurice Jackson, and we're going to do another piece of Bible reading and explanations today. And so we're going to do Psalm 4. We're going to do the whole chapter. So it would be verses 1 through 8. And it says, Hear me when I call, O God of my righteousness. Thou hast enlarged me when I was in distress. Have mercy upon me and hear my prayer. O ye sons of men, how long will ye turn my glory into shame? How long will ye love vanity and seek after leasing? Selah. But know that the Lord hath set apart him that is godly for himself. The Lord will hear when I call unto him. Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still. Salah. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Lord. There be many that say, Who will show us any good? Lord, lift thou up the light of thy countenance upon us. Thou hast put gladness in my heart, more than in the time that their corn and their wine increased. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. And again, that was the book of Psalms, chapter 4, verse 1 through 8, which is the whole chapter. And that's under the segment in the King James Version. It says it is inside of confidence in the Lord and prayer for mercy. And so I think that was just a nice little reminder. And it's pretty much just saying, like, remember that God has set you apart for, God has set apart the godly for himself. So don't worry what other people say, really. Just put your trust in the Lord. That's what I think Psalm 4 is kind of saying to the reader. So if you have any comments, if you have any questions, please just make sure you talk to me about it. Leave a comment in the section, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace be with you. All right. We're going to do another Bible reading today. My name is Maurice Jackson, uh, and this is from the book of St. Matthew, chapter 13, verses 56 through 58. And it says, And his sisters, are they not all with us? Whence then hath this man all these things? And they were offended in him. But Jesus said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, save in his own country, and in his own house. And he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. And so that goes into another portion of the Bible where God tells certain people to get up and leave your home country, get up and go away from the people that you're familiar with. And that's what this one says to me. It's pretty much saying that you're not a prophet in your own country, in your own land, in your own country. The people that watched you grow up won't ever admit that you changed. They won't ever admit that you have become a better person. Somebody will walk up to you and throw your past in your face before they walk up to you and say, you know what, man, I saw you playing in the dirt the other day, and now I see you over here walking on water. Like, man, you know what I mean? Like, you've really grown. Nobody will do that to you inside of your own country because it is the law. You're supposed to separate. That's what this world is for. This world is for you to determine whether you're going to separate from this world or not. And so we were made from dust, and then God breathed the breath of life into us. So we are soul and spirit. and we are inside of a body to represent us inside of this time and space. That being said, you can choose to be a piece of light, or you can choose to be that dust that God made you. And if you are more dust when you die, you're going back to the dust. You know what I mean? It's you shouldn't be a higher percentage of dust, is what I'm trying to say. But what this verse says to me, what this scripture says to me, is that Jesus responded and said, they were, and it says, verse 57 says, and they were offended in him. But Jesus said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and in his own house. And he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. So because they didn't believe that he could do it, he didn't do it. I'm not going to say he couldn't do it, but he didn't do it because they would not believe that he is who he said he is. Um, so just check your beliefs today. Don't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't believe what you believe if you are believing in the right thing. And so that would be the reason that you would separate from a person when a person refuses to acknowledge you as a born again person, you know? So that's what that says to me. If you have any comments, let me know in the comment section. It's been great talking to you. Good morning. My name is Maurice Jackson. I'll see you soon. Peace be with you.